Welcome back to another video, traders, and if you're new to the channel, welcome to Tesla Trends. I'm TJ. We got a great video for you today, but before we get into it, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Alright, let's take a look at the chart. Okay, so here's the chart for Tesla. We're on a 10-day, 10-minute chart here. Interesting day today, had a little bit of a breakout. Now we're up 30 points on the day. On this chart, we're back above the uptrend line here, and obviously we went flying through the 669 level, ended up falling back and sort of consolidating into this level that we've tested a few times recently. So, I mean, is this a bullish breakout? Are we, starting to get the beginnings of a big move to the upside? I don't know, not necessarily. Let's look at a couple other time frames. Here's a 30-day, 30-minute chart. And so over the past 3-4 days, we've got higher highs, higher lows. We're starting to move in the right direction, but if you're zooming out, you look at this chart, we're still seeing the same action, same thing that I've talked about in the last few videos. And honestly, until we get above 695 or below 619, we're still really moving sideways. And ever since these two trend lines have crossed, we spent a little bit more time on the upside, but for the most part, we've been up and down, testing the ranges to the top and the bottom, and really just moving sideways for the most part. So, let's think about it like this. If the opposite had happened, which it did, 2 or 3 days ago, should I tell you guys that the momentum has shifted completely and we're heading to the downside now because we briefly fell below the downtrend line and almost came down to test the bottom of our price range here? No. So I'm not going to do the same thing today just because we're within 12 or 15 points, or we were at the high today of testing the top of the channel. We're not even really testing the top of our price ranges here, so we're definitely still moving sideways. It's great that we're above trend lines. We're having a nice big green day. But let's zoom out one more time. Look at the 4-hour 180-day chart here. So on this chart, you can see a little bit more clearly that, again, going back to 624, like we've talked about, we really haven't moved outside of this range. And yes, we broke this downtrend, but there's still mixed signals here. We're still feeling a lot of gravity to the downside as well, and certainly we haven't had enough of a push to get back above this level, even though we tested it for a full week here, came all the way back down to bounce off the bottom, straight back up to test the top again. That's another 2 or 3 weeks after the original test there from the break of this downtrend line. It got rejected again, all the way back down to the bottom, and now here just hovering around the middle. Another test of the low side, coming back up. But what I see, especially most recently, is we're spending a little bit more time in between the middle of this channel, and now after the break of this downtrend line, we're really starting to work in between the two trends. This is the larger time frame. This is the 4-hour chart, whereas I'll show you one more time on these other two charts. We're currently above this top trend line, and on this chart we're not. I think this line may have been drawn on this chart or even a larger time frame. That doesn't typically matter. I think what's important to think about is which trend is most relevant right now. Is it the short-term 3-day trend? Is that going to be reliable? I don't think so. I think it's still, going back to 624, this price range here, that's most relevant. And until we break out of that range, we're still kind of a little bit trapped. The good news is that typically when you see this sideways rectangular action where you're going from top to bottom to top to bottom and theoretically back to the top again, testing those ranges without breaking out of a price range, especially coming from a low, right? This is an uptrend. typically, more often than not, the eventual breakout will be to the upside. So this is a bullish chart pattern here, guys. So at some point, and we're approaching now, it's over a month now. So whether that's a month and a half or 2 months of movement that we see within this pattern, more likely, more often than not, you're going to see a breakout to the upside. So just be patient. Again, don't get too overexcited about any of these moves, especially within between these middle ranges between 669 and 643. It's anything could happen. There's bumper cars in here. When we get above this line, it's like, all right, let's see if we can get a test at the top. If we get a test at the top, you're looking for that breakout. That's the signal to go. And on the reverse side, again, if we're below 643, you're looking to see, are we going to test the bottom of this range? Because that's a little scary. If we do test the bottom of the range and we fall out, that's the signal that we could see continuation to the downside for sure. But right now, to me, it looks like we're just moving in between these two trend lines here. They're both sort of acting like support and resistance now, and we're going to continue to see sideways action until theoretically we get a breakout to the upside. So nothing to get too overly excited about. I know that's maybe not what a lot of people want to hear on a big move like today, but just looking back over the past month even, we've seen a couple of these moves like this, and they all ended pretty anticlimactically. So I don't think it's going out on a limb to predict that we're going to see a repeat of that pattern. Who knows? This could be the time that we get that continuation breakout. It has been over a month now, so it wouldn't be surprising to see that. And like I said, typically these patterns you're going to see continuation to the upside. We came into this on an uptrend, and looking at this chart, most of the weight is in the middle to the higher side of the price range. There's only really those 2 or 3 small tests to the downside. So hopefully that probability is going to ring true this time around as well. We'll eventually see that breakout to the upside, but you never know. You got to be patient, and really got to wait to see a test, break and confirm of that 695 level before you'll know for sure. So we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're not already. If you enjoy my content, subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when the next video comes out, and please comment below. Let me know what you guys think of today's action and Tesla stock in general, of course. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.